You're probably doing this wrong without even noticing it. You keep asking yourself if she loves you, but you focus on the wrong signals. You keep replaying what she said, the cute messages, the posts, the late night calls, but you ignore how she actually behaves. You pay more attention to her words than to her actions, and that is where most guys mess up. On top of that, you've been trained to chase, to impress, to prove yourself again and again. You treat love like a job interview you never stop doing. You try to be fun enough, successful enough, strong enough, whatever enough, so she chooses you, and because of that, you tolerate behavior that a guy with real standards would walk away from. So if you're confused, drained, or always anxious about where you stand, that's not random. That's a sign that the way you look at love needs to change. You're accepting attention as proof of love. You're accepting drama as proof of passion. You're accepting control as proof that she cares. Real love does not work like that. Real love feels steady. It feels respectful. It makes you better instead of smaller. And once you really understand what that looks like, you stop settling for anything that doesn't match it. Now let's go through what it actually looks like when a woman truly loves you. Not the movie version, the real one. And while you listen, be honest with yourself. If you don't see these things, then you already know what that means. First, real love always starts with respect. If she loves you, she respects you as a man. Not just your looks, not just your job, not just what you can buy. She respects your character, your judgment, your values, and the way you live your life. She can like your lifestyle, but real respect goes deeper than that. A woman who respects you does not talk to you like you are a child. She does not talk at you. She doesn't treat every disagreement like proof you are stupid or lazy. She can challenge you without attacking you. She can disagree without turning it into a personal insult. Watch how she reacts when you make a decision. Maybe you choose a plan for the weekend. Maybe you set a boundary with someone. Maybe you choose a direction for your life. If she respects you, she might ask questions. She might give feedback, but she does not constantly belittle you or try to make you feel dumb for having your own mind. If every choice you make turns into a lecture, that's not support. That's control. And a lot of guys confuse that control with care. They think she's always on me because she wants the best for me. Sometimes that's true, but many times, it's just about her wanting power over you. Respect also shows in how she treats your boundaries. If you say you need time to work, or you need time with your friends, or you don't accept certain behavior, she doesn't ignore that and push anyway. She hears it. She may not love every boundary, but she understands that a man without boundaries loses respect over time. Now think about how she talks about you when you are not around. If she respects you, she doesn't sit with her friends and pick you apart for fun. She doesn't turn every small conflict into gossip. She doesn't use you as a story to make herself look better. When people around her talk about you, she doesn't let them disrespect you either. You might never hear those conversations, but you can feel the results. You notice whether her family and friends treat you with basic respect or not. And a lot of the time, that comes from how she talks about you when you're not in the room. Respect also shows in how she handles conflict in public. If she loves you, she does not humiliate you in front of others. She doesn't try to win attention by making fun of you or exposing your private problems. She waits until you're alone to bring serious issues up because she still cares about your dignity, even when she's angry. Once respect starts to fade, everything else follows. You can't build trust, intimacy, or long-term love on top of disrespect. If she constantly cuts you down and you accept it, that is on you as well. Your standards teach people how to treat you. Second, a woman who loves you wants to see you grow. She isn't just okay with your goals, she actively supports them. When you talk about what you want from life, she listens. She asks you about your plans, she cares about your progress, and she pushes you when you start to give up. She is not afraid of your ambition. Your growth doesn't threaten her. She doesn't try to hold you at the same level just so she can feel safe. She wants you to become more, even if that means you have to work hard, take risks, or change. Watch how she reacts when you go through difficult moments. You lose a job. You fail an exam. Your idea doesn't work. A woman who loves you doesn't use that against you. She doesn't immediately start doubting you as a man. She stands with you. She believes in your potential, not just your current situation. There are women who only show up when you are already successful. They want the finished product, not the process. They like the car, the apartment, the money, the lifestyle. That is not love. That is convenience. Real love is there when you are building, not just when you are done. At the same time, you need to be careful with support that is actually control in disguise. Some women say they are helping you, but what they really want is a version of you that fits their personal plan. They push you toward goals that only benefit them. They want a certain career, a certain city, a certain lifestyle, and you are just the person who is supposed to make it all happen. Real support feels different. It's about you becoming a better man by your own standards, not just becoming the character she wrote for you in her head. Third, a woman who loves you actually listens to you. In a distracted world, giving someone full attention is rare. Most people pretend to listen. They wait for their turn to talk. They check their phone while you speak. They say, yeah, but don't remember what you said. 2 hours later. When she genuinely cares, it looks different. She puts down her phone, or at least pauses what she's doing when you talk about something important. She looks at you, she responds, she asks follow-up questions. She's not just listening to the words, she is paying attention to your mood and your tone as well. You can feel the difference when you talk about a hard day with someone who is present. You feel lighter afterwards. You feel understood, not judged or ignored. And when someone repeats back small details later, it proves they took you seriously. A woman who loves you remembers what you tell her. If you mention that a conversation with your boss made you nervous, she will ask how it went later. If you say you are worried about your health, she will check in on you. Those small moments show where her mind is. When she never remembers what you say, when she constantly zones out while you're opening up, that is a sign. That's not deep care. That's indifference. And indifference kills more relationships than open hate ever will. Also, if you expect this level of listening from her, you need to give it back. You can't demand full attention and then barely listen when she speaks. Real connection is two people making space for each other's thoughts. Fourth, real love includes vulnerability. A lot of men think that if she is always smiling and acting strong, everything is perfect. But if she never lets you see her when she feels weak, stressed, or afraid, then she does not fully trust you. A woman who loves you will let you see the side she hides from everyone else. She shares her worries, her past pain, her doubts about herself. She doesn't need to act perfect around you all the time. She is comfortable being a real human being, not just a performance. Think about how much she actually opens up. Has she told you about things that really hurt her in the past? Has she allowed herself to cry around you? Has she admitted when she feels insecure or lost? Or does every conversation stay at the surface level? When a woman really loves you, she is willing to take the risk of getting hurt. She gives you access to the information that could damage her if you misused it. That is a big sign of trust. If she always takes her deeper problems to other people, and never to you, that tells you where you are placed in her life. You might be fun, you might be attractive, but you are not the person she leans on. Of course, vulnerability goes both ways. If you shut down every time she tries to open up, or you mock her feelings, she will stop sharing. You also have to create a space where both of you can be honest without fear of being attacked or laughed at. Fifth, a woman who loves you cares about your well-being. Most people are very focused on their own comfort. They care about their schedule, their stress, their goals. When someone truly loves you, they also pay attention to how you are doing, not only when it affects them, but just because they care about you. She notices when you look tired. She sees when your mood drops. She can tell when your energy is different, even if you say, "I'm fine." And she doesn't just point it out. She tries to help in a reasonable way. That help can be simple. Maybe she makes you food when you're exhausted. Maybe she reminds you to rest. Maybe she tells you to go outside and breathe when you're overwhelmed. Maybe she sits with you quietly when you don't feel like talking. The key is, your well-being matters to her. Not just your ability to provide, not just your performance, but your actual mental and physical health. At the same time, there is a difference between care and control. A loving woman supports your health and stability, but she doesn't treat you like a child. She doesn't try to manage every decision. She doesn't use "I care about you" as an excuse to control every move. You also have a role here. If you constantly ignore your own health, if you treat yourself badly, then even the most caring partner can't fix that. Her support should encourage you to take responsibility for yourself, not rely on her to hold your life together. Sixth, pay attention to how she acts when you're not there. Love shows up when people talk about you in your absence. If she loves you, she doesn't let people attack your character while she stays quiet. She doesn't entertain long conversations where others insult you, trash your dreams, or call you weak. You might think this does not matter, but it does. When she lets people talk badly about you without pushing back, she is protecting her image more than she is protecting you. A woman who loves you doesn't have to start an argument every time someone makes a comment, but she makes her position clear. She lets people know that you are important to her and that she won't sit and listen to disrespect. The opposite is very common. There are women who loudly complain about their partners, to friends, family, even online. They expose private details just to get sympathy or approval. That doesn't build a strong relationship. It slowly destroys trust. If she constantly tells everyone about your flaws and barely mentions your strengths, that's not loyalty. That is her protecting her own ego at the expense of your name. Seventh, real love takes interest in your passions. She doesn't have to love everything you love. She doesn't need to become obsessed with your hobbies. But if she loves you, she cares about the things that are important to you. When you talk about your interests, she doesn't roll her eyes or shut you down every time. She asks basic questions. She tries to understand why it matters to you. She might even show up sometimes just to support you, even if the activity is not something she would choose on her own. That doesn't mean she fakes enthusiasm. It just means she respects your joy. She understands that part of loving someone is sharing some of their world. If she always makes fun of what you like, if she calls your hobbies pointless, if she wants you to give up everything that makes you feel alive, that is a problem. You can compromise on time and priorities, but you shouldn't have to erase your whole identity to keep peace. Also remember, this has to go both ways. You should also be curious about what she cares about. You don't have to love all of it, but you need to show some interest. If you expect her to support your passions while you ignore hers, that's not fair either. 8th, emotional consistency is a huge sign of real love. A woman who truly loves you is not one person today and a completely different person tomorrow, for no clear reason. You don't feel calm one day and then completely lost the next because her attitude suddenly changed without explanation. With real love, her general behavior toward you is stable. She doesn't use affection as a reward and coldness as punishment all the time. She doesn't spend 1 week acting extremely loving and then pull away just to make you chase harder. Of course, everyone has moods, everyone has bad days. Emotional consistency doesn't mean she is happy 24/7. It means she doesn't play with your mind on purpose. It means you basically know where you stand with her. If you always feel nervous about her reactions, if you are scared to bring up simple topics because you don't know if it will start an explosion, that's not healthy. That isn't passion. That's emotional chaos. A woman who loves you deals with problems directly. If she is upset, she tells you. If she needs space, she communicates that. She doesn't punish you with endless silence or random anger for small mistakes. Emotional consistency lets you relax. It allows you to focus on your life without constantly checking her mood like a meter. It gives you a stable base to build on. 9th, real love invests in the relationship, not just enjoys it. Being together is not just about going out, laughing, and posting cute moments. A serious relationship needs maintenance. It needs effort from both sides. A woman who loves you doesn't treat the relationship like a background experience that just runs by itself. She thinks about how you two can get closer, how you can solve small problems before they turn into big ones, how you can keep the connection alive. She plans time together sometimes. She suggests activities. She checks in with you emotionally. She doesn't expect you to carry 100% of the weight of communication, plans, and problem solving. Look at the pattern. Does she bring up issues with the goal of fixing them, or does she only complain without caring about solutions? Does she ever apologize when she is wrong, or is it only you? Does she put energy into making you both stronger, or is she just there for the comfort and routine? Real investment shows in small, consistent actions. Sending you a kind message in the middle of a hard day, asking how you feel after an argument instead of pretending nothing happened, setting time aside to talk about things that matter. If you are the only one pushing conversations, then you are the only one really fighting for the relationship. One-sided effort will drain you over time. 10th, a woman who loves you forgives your flaws and mistakes within reason. You are not perfect. You will mess up. You will say something wrong, forget something important, or make a decision that did not work out. Real love doesn't mean she smiles through everything, but it does mean she knows the difference between a mistake and a pattern of disrespect. When she loves you, she is willing to talk things out instead of trying to destroy you every time you slip. She tells you what hurt her, listens to your side, and works with you to move forward. She doesn't keep a list of every wrong you ever did, just to throw it at you in every argument. She also understands context. If you are genuinely trying to improve, she sees that. She doesn't expect you to never fail. She expects you to learn from what happened. That does not mean she tolerates everything. Cheating, lying, and repeated disrespect are serious. Forgiveness is not a free pass to keep doing harmful things. But if she turns every small error into proof you are the worst person alive, that's not a loving mindset. You also need to take responsibility. Real love is not an excuse for you to be lazy with your character. Her forgiveness should make you more committed to doing better, not more careless, because you know she will stay. 11th, real love supports your vision for the future. A woman who loves you doesn't only see you as you are now. She also pays attention to where you want to go. She listens when you talk about what you want from life, career, lifestyle, family, travel, growth, all of it. She takes that seriously. She doesn't laugh at your goals. She doesn't always try to bend your vision into something that only benefits her. Instead, she asks how she can fit into that picture in a healthy way. You will know she supports your future when she makes choices that align with it. Maybe she's willing to move later. Maybe she's open to saving money instead of spending on short-term pleasure all the time. Maybe she learns new skills because she wants to be a strong partner as you both grow. She isn't just thinking about what feels good this week. She's thinking about what will be good for both of you in 5 or 10 years. At the same time, your vision has to be clear. If you have no direction, it's hard for anyone to support it. You don't need everything figured out, but you need some sense of the man you are trying to become. A woman who truly loves you will walk with you through the hard parts of that process, not just show up when you are already successful. She is willing to build, not only to enjoy the final result. Now, after hearing all this, you need to turn the spotlight back on yourself. Ask yourself some real questions. Are you respected, or are you just tolerated? Are you growing, or are you shrinking to keep the peace? Are you being listened to, or are you just background noise? Are you trusted with real vulnerability, or only included in the easy moments? Is your well-being important to her, or just your usefulness? Does she protect your name, or expose your flaws to others? Does she care about what you love, or only what she wants? Do you feel stable with her, or constantly confused? Is she investing effort or just enjoying benefits? Does she forgive and grow with you or punish and keep score? Does she stand beside your future or try to replace it with her own? If you notice that many of these signs are missing, don't ignore that. That uneasy feeling you keep pushing down is trying to warn you. You can't build a strong life with someone who only half chooses you. And also, check yourself. Are you giving these things to her? It's easy to judge her behavior and forget that she deserves the same level of love and respect that you want. In the end, real love is not confusing all the time. It's not constant drama, constant doubt, constant tests. It's two people who respect each other, support each other's growth, listen, care, stay loyal, stay consistent, and build something that actually lasts. You don't need perfection, but you do need standards. Once you really understand what genuine love looks like, you stop chasing attention and start choosing what is healthy. You stop begging for crumbs and start requiring a real relationship. And when you finally experience this kind of connection, you will wonder why you ever accepted anything less.